glorious peacocks cared what a penniless Hungarian artist thought of their fashion choices. Even Papa admits that the French have always had mixed feelings about anyone who hasn't lived in France since the Neanderthal era, though here in Montparnasse they like anything exotic. By the time Yvonne finished the second verse, everyone was in love with her. I completely forgot myself and wept along with the rest. The ocean knew where her sailor was. "We have seen him," said the waves. "He is sleeping with us. You will never kiss his lips or feel the weight of his body again." Uncoiling from the knot into which the song had tied her, Yvonne stood and opened her arms. The audience exploded. She lit her cigarette, blew a long plume of smoke, and welcomed the crowd to her home, which she told them to think of as their home, a place where they could feel free to take off their trousers and spread their legs and relax. She said some other things in this vein, including some jokes that might have embarrassed Mama, though Papa would have taken them in the French good humor intended. I felt that Yvonne was laughing at us for having been so sad, even though she'd made us sad with her song about the sailor. The crowd was mostly regulars. I could tell they knew what was coming. The Chameleon's famous all-girl band struck up a jazzy fanfare, and a dozen men and women trotted on stage in skimpy sailor suits. What bizarre human pretzels they made, doing flips and back bends until their faces were staring forward from between their knees. Slithering over and under each other like a nest of snakes, they threw in plenty of crisp salutes and precision marching. A giantess in a Navy officer's uniform lifted a tiny Asian girl in an orange kimono who sat cross-legged like the Buddha, cupped in the giant's hands, and sang a lilting melody about first love and cherry blossoms. When the show ended, the dancers strolled among us, their sailor hats upturned. "I thought a million times about the sacrifices you are making. But didn't you raise me to believe that everyone should be paid for their labor?" I dropped a few coins into the cap of a sailorette who gave me a saucy smile. When she turned and winked over her shoulder, I wondered if the sailorette might be a sailor. The band was playing swing tunes. A few couples started dancing, men with men, women with women in monocles and mustaches. But if you're picturing something lewd, you couldn't be more wrong. They were as stiff as children at a grade school dance. Leaning against the wall, Yvonne watched, smoking a cigarette. Yvonne caught the eye of the head waiter, a woman in black trousers and a butcher's apron. Fat Bernard, who also sings. Without a word being spoken, waiters swarmed the room. Soon they were practically sprinting with rattling trays of bottles and glasses. The sailors and sailorettes pitched in. The music got louder. The customers shouted to be heard. Dancers drifted onto the floor. One couple did the tango, though the band was playing a foxtrot. Sweeter than sweet, crooned Fat Bernard in a syrupy tenor. Lovers kissed. An argument broke out when a dancer grabbed a brandy from a tray headed for someone's table. I took advantage of the chaos to approach Yvonne. It was too noisy to talk. I pantomimed taking a picture. I shouted, "I want to take your picture!" At first she couldn't hear me, but her expression changed when she realized that I was speaking Hungarian. "You know how we love our language, how those Asiatic vowels whisk us back to the powdered heaven where our mama sang us to sleep. Ask us anything in our mother tongue, and we will say yes." Yvonne stared, then told me to do something to myself that Mama shouldn't imagine. Her refusal was doubly surprising. From my letters you must have concluded that Parisians like having their pictures taken, especially French girls. "Why not?" I yelled over the music. My voice squeaked like a boy's. Yvonne grabbed my elbow and dragged me over to a door she unlocked with a key that clanked from her spangled belt. "Don't worry, you can read on. I swear, my only desire was to photograph Yvonne and her clientele. It was entirely about my art. The basis of your faith in me and your generous stipend, the tuition you are paying to